Session 47, 10th April 2022. Session 47, 10th April 2022. Quran, the Word of Allah, an elaborate translation by ex-Brigadier Mustansar Billah. Brothers and sisters, we continue with the 8th Surah of Quran, Surah Al-Anfal, and with part 9. And we begin with verse 26 of Surah Anfal. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We begin with the name of Allah, who is most gracious and tremendously merciful. واذكروا إذ أنتم قليل مستضعفون في الأرض تخافون أن يتخطفكم الناس فواكم وأيدكم بنصره ورزقكم من طيبات لعلكم تشكرون. 2:6. And remember, O believers, when you were few in numbers and were oppressed in the land, ever fearing that the enemy would grip you, then he made you strong with his help. And Allah made you strong with his help and provided you a safe abode and gave you pure things for sustenance so that you may thank him. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تخونوا الله ورسوله وتخونوا أماناتكم وأنتم تعلمون. 2:7. O believers, do not betray, hoodwink the trust of Allah and His Messenger, nor violate our trusts, nor violate your trust commitments knowingly, deliberately, nor violate your trusts commitments knowingly, deliberately. وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّمَا أَمْوَالُكُمْ وَأَوْلَادُكُمْ فِتْنَةٌ وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ عِندَهُ أَجْرٌ عَظِيمٌ. 2:8. And know it well that your wealth, properties, and your children are in fact a test for you, and that Allah is He with whom is your mighty reward. And that Allah is He with whom is your mighty reward. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن تتقوا الله يجعل لكم فرقانا ويكفر عنكم سيئاتكم ويغفر لكم والله ذو الفضل العظيم. 2:9. O believers, if you obey and fear Allah, He'll grant you Furqan, a criterion to judge between the right and the wrong, a criterion to judge between the right and the wrong, or makhraj, that is a way for you to get out of any difficulty, or makhraj, that is a way for you to get out of any difficulty, and expiate your sins and forgive you. And Allah is the owner of great bounty. And Allah is the owner of great bounty. وَإِذْ يَمْكُرُ بِكَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا لِيُثْبِتُوكَ أَوْ يَقْتُلُوكَ أَوْ يُخْرِجُوكَ وَيَمْكُرُونَ وَيَمْكُرُ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. 3:0. And remember how the disbelievers plotted against you. They sought to take you captive, or to kill you, or exile you from your home, Makkah. They planned, and Allah planned too. And Allah is the best planner of all. And Allah is the best planner of all. وَإِذَا تُتْلَى عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتُنَا قَالُوا قَدْ سَمِعْنَا لَوْ نَشَاءُ لَقُلْنَا مِثْلَ هَذَا إِنْ هَذَا إِلَّا أَسَاطِيرُ الْأَوَّلِينَ. 3:1. Whenever anyone recites to them our revelations, verses, they, the disbelievers, say, Oh, we have heard them. We can also recite such revelations. These are nothing but the tales of the ancients, they say. وَقَالُوا اللَّهُمْ إِنْ كَانَ هَذَا هُوَ الْحَقُّ مِنْ عِنْدِكَ مَا أَمْطِرْ عَلَيْنَا حِجَارَةً مِنَ السَّمَاءِ أَوْ ائْتِنَا بِعَذَابٍ أَلِيمٍ. 3:2. And when they said, O Allah, if this is indeed the truth from you, then rain down stones on us from the sky, or inflict some dreadful scares to punish us. Why this delay? Punish us like you punished the past nations, communities. وما كان الله ليعذبهم وأنت فيهم وما كان الله معذبهم وهم يستغفرون. 3, and Allah is not going to punish them till the time you are amongst them. Secondly, Allah doesn't punish people if they continue seeking His forgiveness. Allah doesn't punish people if they continue seeking His forgiveness. وما لهم ألا يعذبهم الله وهم يصدون عن المسجد الحرام وما كانوا أولياءه إن أولياءه إلا المتقون ولكن أكثرهم لا يعلمون. 3-4. And what is their good quality because of which Allah should not punish them? And what is their good quality because of which Allah should not punish them? Absolutely none. They stop the believers from going to Masjid al-Haram Kaaba, whereas they are not its lawful guardians. The lawful guardians are the pious believers who fear Allah, even though most of them do not understand. وما كان صلاتهم عند البيت إلا مقام وتصدية فذوقوا العذاب بما كنتم تكفرون. 3-5. Their prayers at the house of Allah was nothing but whistling and clapping of hands, whose only answer can be, taste the punishment because of your denying the truth. إن الذين كفروا ينفقون أموالهم ليصدوا عن سبيل الله فسينفقونها ثم تكون عليهم حسرة ثم يغلبون والذين كفروا إلى جهنم يحشرون. 3-6. Surely those who are disbelievers spend their money, wealth in preventing from the straight way of Allah. So now they'll spend a lot more. But in the end, these very efforts will become the cause of their regrets. At length, they'll be defeated. In the hereafter, these disbelievers will be gathered together and driven to hell. In the hereafter, these disbelievers will be gathered together and driven to hell. ليميز الله الخبيث من الطيب ويجعل الخبيث بعضه على بعض فيركمه جميعا فيجعله في جهنم أولئك هم الخاسرون. 3-7. In order that Allah may separate the dirty, filthy from the morally clean, pure, He'll keep the filthy one upon the other. He'll keep the filthy one upon the other, all together, and then cast them into hell. These are the ones who will be the losers. These are the ones who will be the losers. كل الذين كفروا ينتهوا يغفر لهم ما قد سلف إن يعودوا فقد مضت سنة الأولين. 3-8. Give them a chance. You tell the disbelievers, if they desist from disbelief, their past shall be forgiven. But if they persist in sin, then let them reflect over the fate of their forefathers. وَقَاتِلُهُمْ حَتَّى لَا تَكُونَ فِتْنَةٌ وَيَكُونَ الدِّينُ كُلُّهُ لِلَّهِ فَإِنِ انْتَهَوْا فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ بِمَا يَعْمَلُونَ بَصِيرٌ. 3-9. Fight them, the Zalimeen, till there is no fitna, evil, mischief, injustice, and the deen, religion, the human values of Allah, holds sway over the entire world. And the deen, religion, the human values of Allah holds sway over the entire world. وَإِن تَوَلَّوْا فَاعْلَمُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ مَوْلَاكُمْ نِعْمَ الْمَوْلَى وَنِعْمَ النَّصِيرُ. 40. If they do not agree, then you should know that Allah is your Mawla, patron, protector, supporter. He is the best to protect and the best to help. 40. I repeat, if they do not agree, then you should know that Allah is your Mawla, patron, protector, supporter. He is the best to protect and the best to help. Now, part 9 ends here. Part 9 ends here. We continue with the 8th surah of Quran, Surah Anfal. And now, part 10. Part 10 begins now. وَعَلَمُوا أَنَّمَا غَنِمْتُم مِّن شَيْءٍ فَأَنَّ لِلَّهِ خُمُسَهُ وَلِلرَّسُولِ وَلِذِي الْقُرْبَى وَالْيَتَامَى وَالْمَسَاكِينِ وَابْنِ السَّبِيلِ إِن كُنتُمْ آمَنتُم بِاللَّهِ وَمَا أَنزَلْنَا عَلَىٰ عَبْدِنَا يَوْمَ الْفُرْقَانِ يَوْمَ الْتَقَى الْجَمْعَانِ وَاللَّهُ عَلَىٰ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. 4:1. And know it well, O believers, that whatever spoils of war you get, 1/5 is for Allah, His Messenger, close relative of the messengers, orphans, the needy, and the wayfarer. Distribute accordingly if you do believe in Allah and in what we have revealed to our servant, and the day of distinction between believers and the disbelievers, and the day of distinction between believers and the disbelievers, the day when two armies met in combat, Battle of Badr. Obviously, Allah has power over everything. Battle of Badr, that is 1 or 2 after Hijrah. Allah has power over everything. 4:2. إِذْ أَنْتُمْ بِالْعُدْوَةِ الدُّنْيَا وَهُمْ بِالْعُدْوَةِ الْقُصْوَى وَالرَّكْبُ أَسْفَلَ مِنْكُمْ وَلَوْ تَوَعَدتُّمْ لَاخْتَلَفْتُمْ في الميعاد ولكن يقضي الله أمرا كان مفعولا ليهلك من هلك عن بينات ويحيى من حي عن بينات وإن الله لسميع عليم. 4:2. Remember when you, the Muslim army, were on the near side of the valley, and the disbelievers on the farther side, and the caravan on the ground which was lower than you. Even if you had made a mutual appointment to meet the people of the caravan, you would certainly have failed in the appointment. But you met that Allah might accomplish a matter already ordained in His knowledge, so that those who are to be destroyed for the rejecting the faith might be destroyed after a clear evidence, and those who are to live, that is the believers, might live after a clear evidence of their being believers. And surely Allah is He who hears all and knows all. And surely Allah is He who hears all and knows all. إِذْ اللَّهُ فِي مَنَامِكَ وَقَلِيلًا وَلَا أَرَاكَهُمْ كَثِيرًا وَلَا فشلتم ولا تنازعتم في الأمر ولكن الله سلم إنه عليم بذات الصدور. إن الله سلم إنه عليم بذات الصدور. 4:3. Also remember when the disbelievers were shown less in numbers than they actually were in your dream. If He had shown them to you as many as they actually were, you would have surely been discouraged, and you would surely have disputed in making decisions. But Allah saved you. Certainly, He knows well what people carry in their hearts. Certainly, He knows well what people carry in their hearts. وَيُزْرِكُمُهُمْ وَإِذْ الْتَقَيْتُمْ فِي أَعْيُنِكُمْ قَلِيلًا وَيُقَلِّلُكُمْ فِي أَعْيُنِهِمْ لِيَقْضِيَ اللَّهُ أَمْرًا كَانَ مَفْعُولًا وَلِلَّهِ تَرْجِعُ الْأُمُورُ. Double four. And also remember when you met them in the encounter of Badr, he showed them to you as if they are few in numbers in your eyes, and he made you appear as a few in numbers in their eyes, so that Allah might accomplish what he had ordained, for ultimately all affairs return to Allah for decision. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا لقيتم فئة فاثبتوا واذكروا الله كثيرا لعلكم تفلحون. 4-5. O believers, when you encounter any forces for war, remain persevering, unrelenting, determined to win, and remember Allah a lot, so that you may be victorious. And remember Allah a lot, so that you may be victorious. وَأَطِيعُوا اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ وَلَا تَنَازَعُوا فَتَفْشَلُوا وَتَذْهَبَ رِيحُكُمْ وَاصْبِرُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ مَعَ الصَّابِرِينَ. 4-6. And obey Allah and His Prophet, and do not fall into disputes, for you will become cowards, and you will be footling, trivial, and patiently persevere. Definitely Allah is with those who patiently persevere. Resist the evil, refrain from sins, show forbearance. Definitely Allah is with those who patiently persevere. Resist the evil, refrain from sins, show forbearance. ولا تكونوا كالذين خرجوا من ديارهم بطرا ورعاء الناس ويصدون عن سبيل الله والله بما يعملون محيط. 4-7. And don't be like those who left their houses proudly to show to the people, and they stopped, blocked, prevented people from the way of Allah. And whatever they do is in the full grip, control of Allah. 4-8, just the translation. And remember when Shaitan the devil made their evil deeds seem fair to them, and said, no one of mankind can overcome you this day of the battle of Badr, and surely I am your protector, helper. But when the two forces confronted each other, he ran away and said, surely I have nothing to do with you. Surely I see what you do not. I fear Allah, for Allah is severe in punishment. Shaitan the devil could not dare to stand against the Prophet of Allah. Shaitan the devil could not dare to stand against the Prophet of Allah, though the devil has chosen to oppose the believers. But he knows well the truth of Islam. Though the devil has chosen to oppose the believers, but he knows well the truth of Islam. Verse 4-9. إِذْ يَقُولُ الْمُنَافِقُونَ وَالَّذِينَ فِي قُلُوبِهِم مَرَضٌ غَرَّ هَؤُلَاءِ دِينُهُمْ وَمَن يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ عَزِيزٌ حَكِيمٌ. 4-9. When the hypocrites and those in whose hearts was a disease of disbelief said, their religion has deceived them, that is, according to them, Muslims were following a false religion, may the thought be cursed. But you should know that anyone who puts his trust in Allah will find Allah mighty wise. وَلَا تَرَى إِذْ يَتَوَفَّى الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا الْمَلَائِكَةُ يَضْرِبُونَ وُجُوهَهُمْ وَأَدْبَارَهُمْ وَذُوقُوا عَذَابَ الْحَرِيقِ. 50. And in case you could see, when the angels take away the souls of those who disbelieve, they smite their faces and their backs, saying, taste the punishment of the blazing fire. And in case you could see, when the angels take away the souls of those who disbelieve, they smite their faces and their backs, saying, taste the punishment of the blazing fire. ذَلِكَ بِمَا قَدَّمَتْ أَيْدِيكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَيْسَ بِظَلَامٍ لِلْعَبِيدِ. 5:1. They, the angels, say, "This is the return, retribution of all the misdeeds you have earned with your own hands and sent ahead, for Allah is never unjust to His servants." The angels say, "This is the return, retribution of all the misdeeds you have earned with your own hands and sent ahead, for Allah is never unjust to His servants." كداب آل فرعون والذين من قبلهم كفروا بآيات الله فأخذهم الله بذنوبهم إن الله قوي شديد العقاب. 5:2. Their behavior is similar to the behavior of the people of Pharaoh and of those before them. They also rejected the revelations of Allah, and Allah seized them for their sins. Surely Allah is mighty and severe in punishment. ذَلِكَ بَأَنَّ اللَّهَ لَمْ يَكُنْ مُغَيِّرًا نِعْمَةً أَنْعَمَهَا عَلَى قَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُوا مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ سَمِيعٌ عَلِيمٌ. 5:3. This is because Allah never changes the blessings, grace He has bestowed on people until they themselves change the condition, the state of their souls. That is, they start committing excesses, sins, and adopt evil conduct and dealings. For surely Allah hears all and knows all. For surely Allah hears all and knows all. كداب آل فرعون والذين من قبلهم كذبوا بآيات ربهم فأهلكناهم بذنوبهم وأغرقنا آل فرعون وكل كانوا ظالمين. 5:4. Their behavior is similar to the behavior of the people of Pharaoh and those who have gone before them. They rejected the revelations of the Rabb, so we destroyed them. For their sins. And we drowned the people of Pharaoh. They were all wrongdoers. In Sharad Dawabi Indallah Lazina Kafu Faham La Yu'minun. 5:5. Surely the worst of living things, animals in the sight of Allah, are those who reject the truth and do not become believers. Surely the worst of living things, animals in the sight of Allah, are those who reject the truth and do not become believers. الذين عهدت منهم ثم ينقضون عهدهم في كل مرة وهم لا يتقون. 5:6. These disbelievers are the ones who make treaties with you and time after time violate their treaties, and they do not fear Allah. فإما فاستثقفنهم في الحرب فشرد بهم من خلفهم لعلهم يذكرون. 5:7. So if you gain mastery over them in war, combat, make them a fearsome example for others who would follow them, so that they all may learn a lesson. وَإِمَّا تَخَافَنَّ مِنْ قَوْمٍ خِيَانَةً فَانبِذْ إِلَيْهِمْ عَلَى سَوَاءٍ إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ الْخَائِنِينَ. 5:8. If you, O Muhammad, peace be upon him, fear treachery from people with whom you have a treaty, you may throw back the treaty to them, for Allah does not like the treacherous. وَلَا يَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا سَبَقُوا إِنَّهُمْ لَا يُعْجِزُونَ. 5:9. Let not the disbelievers think that they have escaped the punishment. Definitely not. However fast and far they run, they can't tire us. They can't get away. वअइद्दु लहुम मस्ततअतुम मिन क़ुव्वतिन व मिन रिबातिल ख़ैल तुरहिबून बिही अद्दुव्वल्लाहि व अद्दुव्वकुम व आख़रीन मिन दूनिहिम ला तअलमूनहुम अल्लाहु यअलमुहुम व मा युनफ़िक़ून मिन शैइन फ़ी सबिलिल्लाहि युवफ़्फ़ा इलैकुम व अंतुम ला तुज़लमून। 60. And make ready your strength to fight the disbelievers, all that you can prepare, including mobile forces, tanks, APCs, missiles, artillery, planes, etc. All that you can manage, muster, or strike terror into the hearts of enemies of Allah, and your own enemies, and your enemies, and others beside them, whom you do not know, but Allah knows. And whatever you spend in the way of Allah on the defense of the Muslims, you will get full returns on it, and you shall not be treated unjustly. وَإِنْ جَنَّهُ لِلسَّلْمِ فَاجْنَحْ لَهَا وَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ إِنَّهُ هُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. 6.1. And if they, the enemies, get inclined towards peace, so you too should get inclined to it, and rely on Allah completely. Surely He is the one who listens, who knows all and everything. Surely He, Allah, is the one who listens, who knows all and everything. وَإِنْ يُرِيدُوا أَنْ يَخْدَعُوكَ فَإِنَّ حَسْبَكَ اللَّهُ هُوَ الَّذِي أَيَّدَكَ بِنَصْرِهِ وَبِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ. 6.2. If they try to deceive you, don't feel tense. Allah is enough to help you. He has given you strength, power with His help, and with the Muslims. وَأَلْفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِهِمْ لَوْ أَنْفَقْتَ مَا فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا مَا أَلَّفْتَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِهِمْ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ أَلْفَ بَيْنَهُمْ إِنَّهُ عَزِيزٌ حَكِيمٌ. 6.3. And He has put love, affections for each other in their hearts. Else, had you spent all on the earth to create mutual love, affection, respect, you couldn't have put love, affection in their hearts. But Allah put mutual love in them. Surely He is all-powerful, all-wise. And the last verse for today, Ya ayyuhan nabiyyu hasbukallahu wa man ittaba'aka minal mu'minin. 6.4. O Prophet, Allah is all-sufficient, a helper for you and for the Muslims who follow you. O Prophet, Allah is all-sufficient, a helper for you and for the Muslims who follow you. That's all for today. Please pray for me. Ex-Brigadier Mustansar Billah. जमहूरियत को छोड़ खिलाफत ला, जमहूरियत को छोड़ खिलाफत ला, जमहूरियत को छोड़ खिलाफत ला, वरना दुनिया हो रही है तबाह। अब जमहूरियत से उनका काम बनता नहीं, लेकिन कोई और उनके पास रास्ता नहीं। अब जमहूरियत से उनका काम बनता नहीं, लेकिन कोई और उनके पास रास्ता नहीं। कहते हैं कोई हो ऐसा निज़ाम कि हाकिम हो एक उम्र तमाम। कहते हैं कोई हो ऐसा निज़ाम कि हाकिम हो एक उम्र तमाम। बार बार बंदे वही बद आते हैं, बार बार बंदे वही बद आते हैं, पैसा लगा के मज़ीद पैसा बनाते हैं। अवाम का है सालों साल से एक ही हाल, अवाम का है सालों साल से एक ही हाल, नौकरी ना करें तो हो खाना महाल, नौकरी ना करें तो हो खाना महाल। बेगम और सब औलाद करते हैं नौकरी दिन रात, बेगम और सब औलाद करते हैं नौकरी दिन रात। ज़िंदगी है उनकी बस एक मशीन, ज़िंदगी है उनकी बस एक मशीन। ईसाईयत पे भी नहीं है उनका यकीन, लेकिन हमारा भी है इसमें कसूर, लेकिन हमारा भी है इसमें कसूर। क्या ही इन्हें सलाम किया है उन्हें सलाम से इस्लाम से दूर, कि हमने किया है उन्हें इस्लाम से दूर। हमारा भी है इसमें कसूर, किया है उन्हें हमने इस्लाम से दूर। तहरीक इजराए खिलाफत, तहरीक इजराए खिलाफत।